Romancing the Dungeon is a softcore D&D podcast about heroes navigating their daily lives while looking for love in a world full of peril, monsters and heartbreakers. This show is intended for mature audiences as it contains adult themes. But you can listen to it with your friends. You can listen to stuff that's adult themed with your friends too. Anyway, content warning for specific episodes can be found in the episode description. Okay, let me grab my notes. Last time on Romancing the Dungeon. What are you to me?
You see Una right after her, Una's mother, and so on back beyond this line of Isidrim women. You are my descendant. You carry my curse.
Where's Silas?
Silas left. Ronald and Claudeen spoke to him. It just wasn't the right fit for him anymore, and he left. Listen, you're new. Don't ask Ronnie or Claudeen. We're a family around here. You could be part of the family, or you could leave too. Do you understand?
I do now.
Silas asked that I give this to you. You see a small little automaton figure of a little ballerina. Via, as Claudeen closes the door, a chillness settles over you, and you kind of find yourself pulling at the edges of your clothes, pulling at the edges of your cloak, kind of wrapping it around yourself a little tighter. For a moment, it kind of just that interaction seems a little unsettling, but then you realize that the wind has picked up a small bit, and the clouds overhead, those dull, heavy grey clouds, are now blustering. You see a lot of the other members of the camp. The comfort of the fire seems to have diminished somewhat, and they've kind of splintered off to their own kind of spaces, their own tents and caravans. You don't see any sign of Talon. You don't see Nana, Rash, or Sykes. What are you doing?
With this little box in her hand that was left behind by Silas, and just feeling that chill kind of wash over her, she decides to make her way to her quarters and wash her face and try and recenter herself a little bit.
You slip inside the small caravan that's been kind of given to you. It's strange. The whole space inside kind of feels no bigger than the box room you had at home above Burbage and Sons. As you step past the bed towards that small little countertop with a wash basin, putting the music box down to one side, there's obviously people as part of the Faelight who kind of handle maintenance and cleaning and kind of setting up, and there's a jug with kind of fresh water. As you go to wash kind of the grime of the day off of you, you just hear the box. There's a small chime from it.
I shake the water off my hands and rub any drips that are remaining off my face, and I go over and I pick up the box and look at it.
As you turn back to kind of reach for the box, there's somebody in the carriage. There's somebody already holding the music box.
I kind of stand a bit more alert looking at this figure.
And you recognize it. It's the silhouette, it's the shadow of that woman that you have seen in your dreams, that you have seen in your waking moments as well. The darkness seems to just envelop her. The darkness off of her isn't the dark of night. Everything has got this sort of shady haze around it. She's holding the box up.
Just kind of let out a sigh, and my shoulders drop a little bit, realizing now who this presence is in my space. Not like it's not ignoring, but it's I go and I finish drying off my face and setting down the cloth and stuff like that, and I just kind of stand there staring at her a little bit, not expecting me or anything, just looking and waiting.
She looks as if she's in a cage. And you see she kind of turns the box ever so slightly.
Was left behind for me from someone who, well, I don't know what happened to them, but
trapped between four walls. And she tilts the box. She seems utterly fascinated by this little clockwork.
Would you be gentle with it, please?
Why?
It's all I've got left of someone who was nice to me.
But shouldn't we set her free?
Set who free? I'm not going to be free for the rest of my days. Thank my mother for that.
Sometimes we need a little help. Other times we must find the strength within and free ourselves. And she gives a sharp turn on the little brass key. You hear the clockwork motions and the music gets a little faster.
I reach out to take it off her after hearing how not delicate she's been with it now.
She lets it go.
I guess it's kind of where I was always going, wasn't it? Being trapped by decisions that weren't my own. Is this her curse?
You have your own key.
It doesn't feel like it. It's never felt like it. I think now I've only just started to realise it's never been my choice, ever. It's been Quillow's, or it's been my mom's, or it's been whoever we've been following since becoming, I don't know, heroes or whatever that bloody means. I just feel like I've been following other people's paths all my life, without question, and I don't know whether that's my fault or not.
So stop. If they won't come to save you, save yourself. Find the key.
I'm too tired for all these riddles.
Then give me something, and I will give you the answers.
I want to know. What is this curse that we carry? And in Fia's mind, her memory goes to her dad, Forrest. It was one day where it was just him and her, and they were in a field together, and they were making flower crowns, and she was stacking more and more on top of his head. And just this pang of love and loss wafts over Fia as she thinks of this moment with her dad.
As it kind of floods over you, it is that wave of it's a perfect day. It's a perfect memory. And you can see him there kind of just with just this mound of like orange and blue flowers kind of tangled in his hair. There's just so much joy in it. You can see her, the Raven Queen, just at the edge of the memory. The absence of love. A love lost. The void. Nothing can fill it. I will take these memories. I will take this hurt. And for a moment, Fia, that that nostalgia, that joy, that hurt, that sadness, that love. You can feel it, and then it is numbed. And as you're sitting in that moment, she moves slightly. You see the silhouette sort of sink, and a hand reaches out for yours, and the skin is this wonderfully delicate greyish pink. As the hand reaches for you, you feel this coldness, and then it wraps itself around your hand. And you can just make out a very, very gentle smile on her face. Deep within your heart, this question has said, what is love? Why does it feel I can never quite find it? That barrier, fear, that wall that's always seemed unclimbable. It's not you. It's the curse. It's the burden that you, your mother, and every other woman of my blood must carry. And the hand pulls away. I once found that feeling. That curse I have turned against her. I have used it to protect you, to protect your mother, to protect all of my children. I spurned the one who cares for love. I saw the devastation her power can unleash. And she marked me. She tried to twist and turn the world against me. And I've turned my back on it and her ever since. They think they won. They think I am defeated, but I have persisted. I have survived. And you will too. And the cabin fills with light. And she's gone.
So the curse we carry is Hadana has locked us off from love. Am I getting that right? That bitch! This kind of slaps. It takes it like me. It takes Fia a second for this to kind of settle in, and as it does, this rage builds in her against Hadana, because all her life, that's all she's been interested in, thought about, read about, felt, and wanted. Just this fury now just takes over her. And this anger. So much so that she is grasping the box that has the ballerina inside it so hard that when she looks down, her knuckles have gone pale. Until she just releases the stress from her fingers and she takes a deep breath. She goes and she lies down to go to sleep. This anger and resentment, it's like nothing she has ever done has been her own choice. It's been Hadana, or it's been her her brother, or it's been her mom, or it's been even the Raven Queen. It's been something that's been completely out of her control. Her mind just drifts.
As sleep starts to kind of overtake you, you are thinking of Nate, Hephaestus, Clodagh, and AJ. AJ of all else. And it's that thing of like, as you drift off, his name is the last thing you think of. Just out of game, right, for you. With all this rage running through you and this sort of energy, Fia feels kind of not closer to herself, but something about you feels like it's kind of come back. You feel kind of connected to parts of yourself that shut off. Your blessing of the Raven Queen has been restored and you've leveled up. The knocking on the door, Fia, it kind of erupts out of nowhere. Like when did you close your eyes? When did you fall asleep? How long were you sleeping for? And again, it's quite a persistent knock. Fia?
Yeah?
Are you ready?
Oh my god, 1 second. And just this wave of realization washes over her. If you're say in Seamus's position outside, you probably can hear a lot of clattering and banging as she's like trying to get dressed and get out as quick as she can. And she basically nearly falls out of the door of her carriage.
Yeah, he is standing there as you kind of spill out. Slow yourself a little bit.
No, look, I'm here. I'm ready. Sorry about that.
How set are you on heading into Boudoir? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being utterly, totally, cripplingly disappointed if we're not able to go.
I'd say a 12.
Okay.
Why?
It's just Claudeen and Ronnie stopped by this morning. They were saying they weren't too happy with the numbers that I'm taking in, so I figured maybe I'd work on my act a small bit. Maybe you could give me a bit of advice.
So we're not going into town then?
You kind of like what are you looking for exactly? What do you need?
It's more just to get out to stretch my legs a little bit. There is a couple of bits I do need, but it's just to get out, get some fresh air, and then come back.
We can rehearse around the camp. I'm a walking, talking kind of fella.
I feel like I just need a little change of environment just for an hour or two.
Why don't we get a little food first?
Okay.
To set ourselves up for the day, and we can talk about the act maybe as we're
eating. Yeah, sure.
And whatever you're looking for, I'm sure we have it here at the camp. And if we don't, we can ask Ronnie. That's kind of his thing. He kind of manages the inventories and supplies and stuff like that. So,
I totally get it. But it is to get stuff, but it's more so to just stretch my legs.
Look, we'll have breakfast first.
Okay.
And we'll figure it out then.
Sure.
I'll save it yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not saying we're not going, but we may go later.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'll have, like, if you need to work on your act, that's totally cool. I'll have breakfast with you and help you best I can. I don't know how well I can help you, but I'll try. And then I'll head into town after that.
Look, food first, and we can figure it out then. But that doesn't sound like a bad plan. Just maybe there's another plan. Maybe there's other options to us.
Okay. I do want to go into town. So yeah, even if that means going by myself, that's no problem. If you need to stay here and work on your stuff, that's cool. And I kind of take off a little bit, just happily bobbing along, heading towards breakfast.
He doesn't kind of immediately follow. And you do see Nixie and Willow are sat outside kind of the little mess hall tent that is always kind of built up. And you see they've kind of perched themselves outside away from the main kind of group. And they both kind of just look at you, smiling. Morning.
Morning.
You seem to have attracted a small puppy.
Oh, yeah. He's fine.
Best maybe give a bit of discipline.
Huh?
Seamus.
What do you mean? I'm not here to discipline anyone.
Ignore Willow. She speaks before she thinks. She speaks before she breathes. You are going to help Seamus work on his act. I heard Claudeen and Ronnie were talking to him.
Yeah. I said I'd help him out a little bit. Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going to have him just vanish and reappear mid-reading, or...?
I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet. I mean, if you have better suggestions, I mean, his stuff is not my area of expertise at all. He just asked if I'd give a hand, and I said I would. No. I'm probably not going to give him any good advice, though.
I'm sure whatever help you give, he'll appreciate.
Can I insight check her? Because I just feel like there's some sort of undertone going on here. I'm not 100% sure. It's a 12.
And again, there is that sort of uncertainty. It's like she sounds friendly, but there's something in the undercurrent of her voice that makes you just kind of, what is she?
What does she mean?
Knows something.
Yeah.
And she's skillfully dancing around it.
Why such interest?
Kind of nothing else really to do around camp until the afternoon show.
Do you fancy him or something?
Seamus.
Yeah.
And then Willow just coughs on the bread roll. No, I don't.
It's okay if you do, if you want. I'm looking around to make sure he's not approaching just yet. I can talk you up to him if you're interested.
I don't want your sloppy seconds.
He's not my sloppy seconds.
I don't want your sloppy firsts. I don't like Seamus. And at that point, Seamus is now standing right behind you. Yeah, you heard me, Seamus. I don't like you. All right. I guess. Sorry? And there is just this weird energy hanging around. Go practice your act somewhere else. And she kind of just storms off. Willow kind of looks at you, kind of gives you kind of a scowling look, Fia. But then she's also got this big shit-eating grin that she can't hide either. And she kind of runs off after her friend. What did I do now?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know what is up with them at all.
Oh, okay. We better get in if we want to get something before Cook closes up.
Yeah.
And he does. He kind of spills into the tent, and immediately you just hear, "Hey up!" And you see kind of calling from that same spot in the little mess tent, Nana, Sykes, and Rash scowling at you.
I give a little salute towards them, and I just walk towards getting some food.
You kind of hear just kind of the patting of the table from Nana. Saved you a seat.
Oh, thanks very much. I'll just grab a bit. I'll be right over.
It's the same food you've seen now the last couple of mornings. It's tasty. It's better than you would expect food on the road. In fact, you don't think you've ever eaten as well.
On the road, yeah.
On the road. It's baked eggs, there's bacon, there's hot coffee, fresh bread rolls, there's a small little tray with little pastries and little tarts, slices of cheese.
Yeah, it does scratch an itch in Fia's brain, all right, because certainly when they were travelling as a family of 4, it was everything was rationed and monitored until you got to the next town or village, and then even then you would try and keep costs low. But I suppose she kind of tries and quells that a little bit in herself, where she's like, oh, well, they do take in really good money at the show, I suppose. Maybe that's why.
Seamus kind of has filled up a plate. Mm-hmm. And again, it's kind of a little bit of everything and a little bit extra. And with kind of a mouthful of bacon, he kind of gestures down to Nana and Rash.
Yeah,
and Sykes.
I give him a little nod and I start walking that way and then take a seat at the bench with them.
Have you had cooked bacon yet?
No, not yet. No.
And he kind of slurps back some of the fat. whatever it is they do with the peppercorns, the bacon, it just... And he kind of makes a little French, like a little chef's kiss there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best food I've ever had on the road by a long mile.
You hear that, cook? And she blushes behind the little kind of makeup, kind of like little hatch. Nana gets a seat for Seamus, and there's enough room for the 5 of you to sit round the table. So
do you want to chat about your act now?
Maybe just tuck into this first.
Sure.
And he was scoffing the bacon from the counter to the table, and now he's kind of completely slowed himself. Like he's picking at the food.
I start eating mine quickly, so I can kind of get ready to roll.
How did your show go? Nana kind of just pipes up.
It went good. Yeah. I think I'm still doing all right.
Huh.
I hope people continue to like it.
And you're part of the matinee performance later.
The what performance?
The midday performance, the matinee. You know, the lingo, the language.
There's a matinee?
No, they've moved it kind of forward a little bit. So Claudeen and Ronnie want to get back on the road. So we're all heading out. Some of us will head back early, get the caravans ready to go. So it's a bit of a matinee. And Nixie, Willow didn't tell you?
No.
And Seamus swallows a hard mouthful of eggs.
You didn't mention it, Seamus.
Slipped my mind.
How far away is it? What time? Like how many hours until the show?
Oh, you've got about 4 or 5.
Seamus, I'm so sorry. I do want to just pop in and pop out of town. I'll see you later. I'll be back. I'll be back in time for the show. And I get up and I start.
And Nana kind of takes you by the hand. I couldn't have a small, quick word with you. I won't be long, I promise. And she kind of looks at Seamus. She takes you out of the little canteen area, kind of out into the main camp, and a little bit kind of closer back to where your own hitched wagon is set up. Fia, I know you're kind of finding your feet with the performing and the... It's not really a delicate way of putting this to you, I guess. Claudeen stopped by last night, middle of the night, late morning. She just came into my cabin. You don't really want to be upsetting Claudeen and Ronnie.
How am I upsetting her now?
Just they do a lot of stuff via, for the troupe.
Yeah.
They've taken myself and Sykes and Rashin.
Okay, yeah, but how am I upsetting her now? What am I doing wrong? Why didn't she talk to me?
She just feels that you're... she wasn't giving out. Don't think Claudia doesn't give out. They have their way of doing things. You have your way of doing things. Just maybe let them do things their way and try not to get in their way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
So you'll help Seamus with his act.
Yeah, I'll help him real quick before I head off to town.
You might not want to do that.
Why not? I just want to go.
They like to keep the performers, like behind the curtain, because if you're in town, everyone can see you, and they know, the whole enigma of the show.
I just want to go. I made some money, and I want to go and buy myself a new journal, and I want to buy myself some ink.
Just give it to Ronnie.
I want to do it myself.
No, I know, but just give it to Ronnie, and he'll go in. He'll get it for you.
Look, I'm just going to take some time to myself. No.
Here, though. At the camp, because Seamus could use a bit of help with his act.
I don't know how, as well, he came up asking for help, and I thought I was just helping as a friend, but now is it in order that I have to help him? And how am I supposed to help a medium with an act when I don't have any knowledge of that area? So which is it? Is it I'm helping a friend, or is it an order?
You're just helping. It's what everybody kind of does here. We all help each other.
Yeah, and I was happy to help, but now I feel like I'm being forced to help.
Nobody's.
But the way Seamus has been talking this morning, trying to talk me out of going to town, and now you too? I'm literally just going to go in, buy a journal, buy some ink, and it's something I want to do for myself and then come back. And you see she's squirming. I thought you only helped these guys out every now and then. Why does it matter so much whether I go into town for an hour or two?
Well, we're just...
How does that rock the boat?
It's just Claudeen has kind of offered myself and Sykes and Rash a permanent space with the cabaret.
Okay, I'm delighted for you, I really am.
And it's just...
But why is it coming then with a threat of keeping me in line?
No, there's no threats for you. There's
okay,
no threats.
Then I'm responsible for myself. If I get in trouble for going to town, I get in trouble for going into town. Why does it matter?
If you just keep the peace, keep your head down.
My head
That's
is
what they
down.
were saying. That's what they were just saying. Keep your head down, and there'll be no problems. So it would probably just be better. And she kind of stands up on one of the steps to the carriage, to kind of meet your eye now. If you just stayed here, Birdie.
So I'm going to spend the rest of my days trapped within the confines of a tent.
Well, they took you in, and they're bringing you to Visage.
Yes. I understand the situation I'm in. I very much do. All I'm asking for is an hour or two to go into town to buy a journal. It's not as if anyone can recognise who I am.
There's loads there. There's loads here. I'll say if you want a fancy one, I'll say to Ronnie. I'll say to Ronnie, he can pick it up.
Nana,
consider it done.
Nana,
consider it done.
Nana,
I'm going to go.
Nana,
I'm going to get Seamus.
No, I grab her hand.
She kind of continues. I'll say to Ronnie, he'll get the journal.
Nana,
we'll get sorted. You're going to help Seamus. We'll get you in time.
Nana, why are you so afraid?
And that'll be everything. And there'll be no problems. And everybody will just get on.
Why are you so afraid?
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
You're terrified.
I'm not terrified.
Inside check. 18.
Not terrified at all. She is 100% behind this.
I let go of her hand. I don't know if she's walking off.
She has and she's that kind of like, the plan's kind of fixed now. You are going to help Seamus. She'll go get Seamus. When she gets Seamus, she'll go ask Ronnie, and you can kind of hear her kind of repeating it to herself.
I'm going to sneak off into town. It's literally all I want to go is buy a journal for myself. It doesn't make sense. I'm keeping my head down. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to sneak off.
Give me a stealth check.
27.
Why did I even ask for one? I should have just left it go.
So just as she's walking away, I'm going to walk backwards, still with my eyes on her, and kind of veer around.
Sorry, you were just giving me that Homer Simpson right back into the bush.
It's very much that. It is that. But I'm veering around the side of one of the wagons and then taking off.
Trying to disappear into kind of that little kind of like into the wild
into the medley. Yeah.
People are kind of getting ready for the matinee show apparently now. You kind of see your opportunity with Nana's back turned. You slip into the kind of the wild field, and then kind of the small kind of clump of trees, and you make your way towards the village of Boudoir. It's so quiet. Like it's cold. You've only kind of known the cold these last couple of days, a week almost now. As you've ventured kind of further into the Dragon's Back Mountains, like it's just been grey skies. But there is just, all you can kind of hear is a little bird song and the wind.
It is a real big sense of relief in a way, because the last few days it's just been constant noise and this constant pressure of these new people around her as well. She just wanted that little bit of relief and time alone. So she starts kind of thinking through her few encounters now that she's had with the Raven Queen, especially the one last night. Then she's also just wondering, should she just take off and run right now? But then she remembers she needs to get to Visage So she quickens her pace to get into town and get back as soon as she can.
It's one of those things when you lose yourself in your thoughts, and so many thoughts do just sort of bubble up to the surface, and it's almost like index cards of like, oh yeah, that was that, and oh yeah, that was that, and oh yeah, and you're trying to process. As you lose yourself in them, you also lose that sense of time, and then you are you can hear people again. They're some short distance away, but where this patch of wild kind of snowfields meets farmland, you can just see kind of a stone wall, and beyond it, kind of drifting down the slope and up again, you clearly see the village of Boudoir on the other side of this little dip in the road, nestled into the hills.
Realising now that she's approached town, like I do kind of quicken my pace, because like, okay, go find a general store, get in, get the things I need, and head back straight away.
Boudoir it's not Gaelshire, it's not Tesrap. It's bigger than Herb, but it's still kind of a small little dinky little place in the mountains. Now in this kind of mid-morning light, you notice the buildings a little bit more, the detail. They are very much half Visagian, half Gaelshire in design. You can kind of see that in the kind of the facade of the buildings, with the Visagian ones being kind of slightly taller and a little bit more jagged, like a little bit more pointed, whereas the Gaelshire ones are small, little fat, pot-bellied, little almost cottages or cabins. You also kind of remember that there wasn't much beyond the perimeter of the square. Like everything here seems to be sort of central to that. And as you do kind of skulk into the village, you see the square, and you can see the setup from the stage for the Faelight Cabaret. And as you are standing there, you can hear somebody heckling. Boo! Sinners! Wayward devils! Away with you! Away with you! Out! You're not wanted. Nobody wants you here with your peddling your smut and your crimes. Around kind of the corner of the stage, you see one of the burlier security members, an orc woman, just sort of manhandling this floppy looking old woman in garish robes.
I just turn my head slightly away from it just to not make eye contact with this woman and her pointedness. And I'm going to go look for a general store.
Scanning kind of the buildings, you see a small little tavern, the Tipsy Minxie, the little wooden sign kind of hanging from rusty iron hooks, and it's just a drunk cat lying on its back. The only other kind of building you can kind of get a good sense of is, I mean, it looks like a shop, but on one side of the shop there is a rather ornate little sign, chalkboard, with these wonderful little illustrations and swirls and loops in every letter, hearts over the eyes.
Very artisanal.
Very, very artisanal. And it's baguettes et daguerres, the exact opposite half of the shop, redden blades. And it's literally just a bin of swords.
Just kind of marvelling at the building a little bit, because she is in this little happy, determined bubble now in herself. She kind of smiles and walks through the door.
As you step through the door, the interior is split right down the middle as well, and there is the strangest smell of smoke. You can smell fresh baked goods and the soot of a blacksmith's fire, all intermingled. The heat out of this building is insane. And on the left-hand side, you do see this sort of wooden counter. It looks like what you would imagine, what you'd see in a lot of the kind of the more general sort of stores in Tesrap. It's this mishmash of like hardware, foodstuffs, animal grain, mining supplies. It's sort of this, it's the general, and then there's just this clang of iron, and your head turns, and there's a man in the distance. He hasn't seemed to notice you, but on the other half of the building, it is quite clearly a blacksmith's workshop. Everything is covered in soot and dust and ash. And you do see just this full display of swords of all shapes and sizes. He seems to be walloping the head of an axe.
Good morning. Hello.
Excusez-moi. You hear kind of a door swing and flap, and then just this rush of spiced sugar kind of just wallops you, and then you kind of choke down on like soot as you see this maroonish purple tiefling woman just kind of spill through the door, and she's carrying a tray, and you can see this kind of waft of steam off of it. Oh, good morning. You are most welcome to Baguettes, Daggers. I am Elise. You're welcome to our little shop. What can I help you with this morning?
I'm just looking to get a few bits, please.
Bits of...
I need a new journal, an ink and pen, and some leather armor.
And then the ringing stops. Morning. Welcome to Daggers and Bread. I'm Steve. The fella turns around and he's quite a burly human, and you see he's wearing these heavy sort of goggles, thick beard. It's kind of a rusty color, you think, but it's just full of... It's just black from the smoke. As he turns, you see he's wearing kind of a heavy leather apron, and underneath it kind of a brown kind of tunic. Where she is delicate and petite, he's big and kind of burly. Bit of a dad bod kind of coming off of him.
Oh, yeah.
And when he turns, he's still holding the red hot axe. The other stuff, the pen and the paper, you'll get from the other place. But armor you're looking for.
Yeah, some leather armor, preferably if dark colored or black, if you have it.
Oh, we have everything at Dagger and Bread. Baguettes et daggers. I have told you before, Stephen. Baguettes et daggers. I am the oldest one. I come first. Armor, and you're looking for. Ignore her. She's just there baking her bread.
My eyes are ping-ponging between the two of them right now.
Is it for something kind of customized? Is it like you're looking for something a bit more robust?
I think leather armor is all that's in my budget at the moment, I'm afraid.
Well, we've kind of got everything to suit prices. Yes, they're very knockoff prices. You were looking for a pen and a journal and some ink?
Yes, please.
Of course, if you would like to step up to the counter, please ignore the buffoon behind you. The gorilla will get you your armor, if that's what you are looking for. But I could suggest a couple of other places that you may get something a little bit better and made a little bit more.
How do you two know each other?
He's my brother. Twin.
Ah.
I got the looks, the brains, the ability to run a shop. He got fat. The axe comes flying over and it thuds into the wall. You see there's a couple of these gashes and scratches in the wall. Ignore him. Gorillas throw things when they get angry. He's now stepped over. The line. Back. And she kind of starts to gesture at him, and he is standing. There's
a line on the floor.
Right down the middle. Well, when you're done getting all your trinkets from Her Majesty, if you want to come into an actual shop, you swing over to Daggers and Mouldy Bread, and I'll get you sorted.
Sure, I'll be over with you soon. Thanks very much.
And he goes back, and he's now walloping. He's just walloping the anvil. He's just
making noise to annoy her.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, have you a particular type of vellum that you are looking for the paper or the ink? Is there anything in particular? I am so sorry. It is getting kind of impossible to hear you in here. Please talk a little louder.
I just want the bare bone.
I'm so sorry. I really can't hear. Could you please?
Basic.
Stephen! I am trying to deal with the customer. And there's just this crashing sound as he throws a load of swords into a bin. I'm so sorry. Could you just give me one moment?
Sure.
And you just hear a rustling under the counter. She comes up holding something quite heavy in her hand and she just chucks it. I'm actually going to roll to see if she hits him.
Oh my gosh.
That's a 15.
Oh, she
Even with a 15, that's enough. She chucks a full python at him. And it hits him right in the back of the head. Now, it's a little quieter. So, just regular paper, regular ink.
Just a regular old journal and some regular ink and pen, please.
That I can do for you. And she goes back under the counter, and then a dagger just goes flying over her head. And then she's kind of got everything up on the counter. She's got ink, a little writing tool, the journal. Anything else, Monica? We have scones. I have pastries.
Honestly, it all smells amazing, but I don't know if I have it in my
Thank you. You could hardly smell it over the smell of ash and burning flames of desperation that is my brother's workshop. But I am so glad that you have the ability to recognize real talent.
It is really nice. And I'm so sorry. I have a very limited budget, I'm afraid, today.
No, of course. Thank you so much for your patronage. You are always welcome.
Thank you.
At Baguettes et Daggers.
I hand over the money to her and then I go to the other side of the counter.
I bid you adieu, farewell. Don't listen to any of his bullshit.
Thanks
He
so
barely
much.
passed the exams. And he's now standing there and he's kind of wiped a lot of the sweat off, and it's just he's got a very dirty face. These deep grey eyes, like just these really, really kind of piercing grey eyes. Same eyes she has. Armor you were looking for.
Yes, please.
He kind of goes spilling back into the workshop. I can give you this. And he does. He takes out it's just a bog standard kind of like leather armor. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It looks well made. Like it looks fine. Like it looks sturdy.
Is it like a dark leather color? Or
yeah,
black?
it is. It's closer to kind of a dark red leather. Like it's
fab.
Yeah, but it's not black. It's all I kind of got in your size, and then in the color.
It's really nice, actually.
Thanks. Yeah. Some of us can actually craft real products and not just chuck a bunch of eggs and flour. There is no eggs in my bread. Across on the other side.
No, from what I can see, you're both very talented. Your parents must be proud of both of you.
I tell you what, I can knock a couple of pieces off the armor if you could just do me one solid favor.
What's that?
Just on the way out there, could you just knock over? And he kind of gestures, and there is a small little wooden stand, not by the door, but kind of just inside from the door with kind of like little samples.
As much as I'd love a good deal and saving a couple of,
I cross the line.
And I am not crossing this one either.
But if you look, it's just over.
I feel like
side.
I want to take my compliment back.
And he has handed over the armor. If you're handing the money back, fair is fair. Fine.
I think the two of you are doing a great job, and I hope, I guess, that you can get along better in the future.
One of us has an actual job, and the other one of us pretends to be a cook.
No, I think you're both very talented, and you're very lucky to have each other. Not everyone gets that. I hope you have a nice day.
And they're both staring at you now, kind of both really sort of like, what are you talking about? Like, it's that sort of, when people turn their ire. Yeah, you're trying to mediate peace.
Yeah.
They are now kind of laser focusing on you.
Well, she's kind of a little bit delusioned where she's not picking up on the laser focus. She just thinks that they're giving her both attention. She's like, oh, they're listening to, they're actually listening to me.
And there is just that little foreboding silence in the shop.
And thank you both very, very much. Really appreciate it. Have a good day. And I walk out the door.
As the door closes behind you, just hear the pair of them shouting at each other. She's shouting at him in Visagian. He's shouting back. And then there is just the sound of stuff smashing back and forth. You see a lot of the other villagers from Boudoir giving that general store a wide berth. And as you slip out, standing about a foot shorter than you, but with a finger jabbed right up into your face, you come face to finger to face with that old woman from earlier on who had been making a scene at the Faelight Cabaret stage. She's human, probably pushing her late 50s, maybe early 60s. The robe that you saw she was wearing is like an oversized hoodie, and you can clearly see her vestments are some sort of lycra-esque material underneath it.
Ah, okay.
You. This is you, isn't it? And she starts to kind of rummage through the pouch on her robes at the front. She pulls out a scrap of paper and she kind of holds it up to you.
What's on the scrap of paper?
Oh, it's balled up. Isn't it? That's you.
It's a scrap of paper?
I'd recognize you anyway. Absolute not an ounce of shame about you. And then she kind of unfurls it. It's the poster for the Faelight Cabaret. What have you to say for yourself?
Hi, hello. Sorry, just trying to do some shopping.
Apology isn't even remotely accepted. You are an absolute disgrace. The way you carry on, the way you seem to flit and flounce from town to town, causing absolute ruin and devastation. And what do you have to say to yourself? Hi. Hello.
Sorry, I'm just a performer.
Oh, that's an excuse, is it?
No, that's what I do.
Yeah.
No excuses here. Not at all. I just perform.
No real sense of apologies either.
For what? I just perform.
For all the crimes?
What? No, I don't do any crimes. What?
You are the twit raven?
The spectral raven?
It's all bundled up. I can't read it. And you think you're innocent because what? You stand on the stage shaking your bits, is it?
Fia kind of starts to like try and cover herself up, even though she's wearing clothes, just with that comment, and like, I'm so sorry if my presence has upset you. I'll just get out.
It's not just you. It's not. It's the whole lot of you.
Well, let me
every time.
Get out of your way.
Every time ye come,
and I start to try and like sidestep away from her,
and she's following.
Yeah, I figured.
Every time. There hasn't been a single incident that I can recall, and I have an absolute cracking memory. Every time ye swan into the place, money and valuables go missing.
Look,
people go missing as well.
I can't answer for any of that. I'm only a new person. I've only been...
Oh, so you're new to the way of crimes, is
no,
it?
I'm only new to I'm only a performer. this is like my second show with the troupe.
How do they do it? What's there? I tried to get a look at the stage earlier on and they wouldn't let me near it. What is this? Is there some sort of...
It's just a platform stage.
Oh, and what, all the crooks are hiding underneath it and you smuggle them in, you smuggle them out?
No, we don't have any crooks. It's just have us and then the crew who put the tent up and that's it. Sorry, okay. I'm just going to go now. Excuse me.
She fixes on you. She's gone incredibly quiet. Like, it's the first time really for you that you were able to get a word in without an accusation flung in between the syllables. But she has gone incredibly quiet. And any sort of confidence as she was kind of jabbing at you with her accusatory finger is gone. And as you kind of turn to walk away, you can see why. Claudeen. Birdie, this is where you got off to. Is everything okay?
Yeah,
everything all right?
I was just buying a journal.
Oh, lovely. They're looking for you to help with some of the stage rigging and costumes.
Oh, okay. I'll be right there. I'll go there right now.
Do you want to introduce me first?
I don't know who this lady is.
And the woman is kind of standing. You look vaguely familiar. You see the older woman kind of fix herself. You know who I am, just as much as I know who you are. Sister Sledge. I can't say it's a pleasure to meet either of your acquaintances. Claudeen, if that's even your real name.
I have stepped back away from these two women so that they're in closer proximity to each other than I am.
We seem to have ruffled your feathers. I hope it's not the noise. I hope... And it's not the noise, and you know it's not the noise. I know what you're up to. I know you're doing something. I know there's something. There's something shifty about the lot of you. And Claudeen, without a crack in her expression, of any complaints, of course, please feed them to Elder Adler Alder. I'm sure he'd be happy to facilitate them. That crackpot! Oh, you've him wrapped. You've entranced him. He's hypnotized. Whatever it is. Because no sooner will he be gone, he'll be given out. And I'll be the one that has to coax him in again. Claudeen just kind of fixes a look at you, kind of at the woman. That is a wonderful brooch. You don't know at what point, but in her tirade, or now as she kind of stands up and kind of fixes herself, you do see that there is it's quite odd. It looks quite chunky, but it's two fists bumping each other. And it kind of clasps the cloak closed.
I have no indication to what that is. That related to religion or anything?
You can give me a religion check. Give it a go.
It's a 10.
If there's anything you know about life and living in the city of Tezrab, it's that temples, churches come and go. And as you kind of stare at this brass brooch of two fists bumping each other, vague recollection of the Church of Broseph and the Bro Code, philosophy about morals and decency and squats sort of establishing itself in a temple / gymnasium. This woman clearly is some sort of pontificate or chaplain or member. But you know, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it to the elder. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. Of course, you're entitled to. If you do change your mind, from the sleeve of her coat that she's wearing, she slips a ticket. On the house, front row. We'd love to see you there. Oh, I bet you would. Oh. And again, the finger is out, and the confidence that comes with the finger wagging comes out. And she power walks off.
I just stand there in a silent stupor.
I feel this stage.
Oh, yeah. Right away. Yeah, sorry. And I take off.
You make your way kind of across the square, and you do see that like some of the caravans that kind of bring the performers in have already kind of rocked in. Your stuff is kind of put to one side. Nixie and Willow are whispering to each other. Give me a perception check. Oh, I don't know why I've asked you to roll this as well.
23.
57,000.
23.
They're looking at you, they're whispering. And as you kind of are looking around and you're kind of, they're getting ready and you're getting ready, Talon's kind of moping awkwardly in the corner, kind of like sharpening his blades. You don't see Seamus.
I kind of walk over. I'm not interested in talking to the girls because whatever, I don't know what sort of vibes is going on there at the minute, but I do go over to Talon. Have you seen Seamus, Talon?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Camp.
Oh, is he not performing?
No.
Why not?
Tired.
Okay. Like, go back and finish getting prepped.
Ronnie kind of flits back in and around, shaking everybody's hand, like kind of giving people water, kind of working the performers, kind of getting everybody the energy up. He kind of approaches. My little dove. Oh, you want to fly free, but Claudeen, she's not happy.
Sorry, I just wanted to... It's just for a quick hour, just...
Shh. Whatever it is that you need, you tell Ronnie. I'll get it for you. Yeah? Oui?
Okay.
Anything at all.
Sorry, Ronnie.
Don't fret. Claudeen, her bark is just as bad as her bite, but she's not going to bite you much. I kid. You look magnifique. And he goes to take your hand and give you a kiss.
I slide it away.
Nah, you are very quick. And you say, Ronnie. And as Claudeen kind of comes around the side of the stage. She must catch me first. And he flits kind of up onto the stage. Everybody gets a little quiet when Claudeen kind of steps in. I have some business to take care of. Ronnie will MC the matinee performance. Good luck. Break a leg. And her eyes land on you. Yeah.
My eyes go to the ground.
Give me 3 ability checks.
Yeah.
That you want to use for your performance.
Gotcha.
So what are you going to use?
Same as what I've used before. So acrobatics for obviously the acrobatic skill of the thing. The perception because I am wearing a blindfold while hitting the bell.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use then my echo switch as my last. Oh no, my attack roll. Sorry.
Okay.
So the first roll is 11 for acrobatics.
Okay. The nerves are at you a little bit, and your mind is like, uh-oh. Like, there's definitely, Claudeen is obviously not happy.
Mm.
The crowd, though, are completely and totally mesmerized. People are clapping, people are cheering. It's the same energy you saw last night. Like, and again, Adler is failing all as he is kind of up on his feet, and he's clapping and kind of stomping. All the while, as much as you can hear that noise, it's your thoughts again that you're kind of bumbling through, and the backflip, you land it, but it's a bit rough.
Yeah, there's like a foot slip.
DC 15 for your perception check.
Okay.
Why the hell did I set it at 15? I should have set it at 56,000.
Natural 20.
God damn it. Okay, it's fine. It's the.
I think, and what happens then is with that slip, I nearly focus on my breath a little bit, and even though I'm wearing a blindfold, I do close my eyes under it as well and really just try and center myself.
And it works. You find kind of a stillness in the bow as you're gripping it. You can feel the resistance in the string, and something about that kind of calms you a little bit as you go to take the shot.
And then my last one then.
The DC doesn't change, it's still 15.
Okay, with that is a 25.
Okay. You hear the ringing of the bell and the crowd are on their feet. Ronnie comes out, barrels kind of into you, holding your hand up, kind of giving it it's slightly above your shoulder. The spectral raven. Oh, she appears, and then woof.
And when he says that, I use my Blessing of the Raven Queen to disappear behind the stage.
Behind the curtain, all right, Nixie and Willow, they have already kind of begun to undress and kind of switch into their clothes, their normal kind of camp wear, and like you just hear kind of like encore. Mes amis, we have such little time to stay in your wonderful little village, but we will be back, rest assured. For now, we have been the Faelight Cabaret. And there is just this flash of light, and you hear just the applause and the hollering continue. Ronnie kind of comes around the side and, okay, we have not so much time. We have to be back. We have to break camp. We must make haste. We have to get to Visage. We have a little bird to be free. Willow and Nixie roll their eyes. Is there anything you want to do at this point?
I think after kind of getting the looks from Claudeen, I'm very much gone insular, and I am just following whatever order anyone is giving me in order to help pack up and get moving.
And that's all it is. It is just change, get ready, move stuff, lift stuff, carry stuff, get into the caravan and kind of move things around.
It is, because like even though Fia feels like she's done nothing wrong by going into the town, it was just a little something for herself. There is a selfish shame that's washed over her now, where she feels like she's let someone down, as well as the fear that she already has for Claudeen.
Give me a perception check at disadvantage. Oh, disadvantage because you're in...
Because I'm in my head a little bit, or...
That, but also because you're actually in... So you're in the wagon, kind of like people are passing you stuff and you're moving. So it's kind of what you can see from where you are. So
even with disadvantage, it's a 25.
Did I say disadvantage? I meant negative 25. Cool. No, great. It is one of those things, like as someone kind of goes to hand you something, their reach isn't that much. So you have to lean further out of the caravan. You can see people are taking the stage down. The crowd are still set there. Nobody has dispersed.
I kind of pause for a minute looking at the crowd and just even seeing, are they moving? Like, are they reacting at all to the stage being brought down?
They're just staring up at the stage as the various kind of scaffolders and stagehands kind of begin to disassemble it.
I whatever the person was handing to me, I take it and I place it inside quickly, and then I do step out with the wagon to just take a few steps closer to have a closer look.
Everybody is just sort of...
No reaction, nothing.
No, they're just staring up at the stage. Almost stupefied.
I kind of look around at the rest of, like, say, the crew of the Faelight Cabaret to see if they're reacting at all then to this at all.
Nobody. People are just taking the stage apart, filling the caravans.
I do start walking up closer to one of the guests.
Little Dove?
Oh, Ronnie, what's...
You? Trance them.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I have no magic in me. Oh, what's wrong with them?
The magic of your performance captivated them.
Are they okay?
They are completely and totally fine. They are just enraptured.
I'm still looking at them. Is there any of the Faelight Cabaret in around by the people at all, or are they completely ignoring them?
No, they're just completely ignoring them. They're just literally just
taking everything down.
And most of it's down now.
Yeah.
No. Come. We haven't much time. There is a storm on the horizon, and if we are to get you safe, Birdie, we must fly away.
I follow after Ronnie, but I still throw my eyes back at the people, really confused and concerned.
Most of the caravans are kind of packed up. They head out. You're kind of, again, in kind of one of the performers' side of it. It's a bit squished because they didn't bring the full kind of troop of wagons. So some parts of the stage and stuff have been loaded in, and there's lots of other boxes and supplies. It's a very quiet trip back to the camp, but like the occasional like whisper and giggle from Willow and Nixie. After a short little kind of ride up that hill, now kind of back at camp. A lot of it has been disassembled.
I'm just keeping my head down again still, and just I go about helping where I can.
You see Nana and Sykes are busy checking over supplies, checking any of the caravans for any kind of wear and tear. Cook is in the process of there's a large pot sitting on that campfire that everyone kind of had been gathering around, and she is kind of preparing some sort of food, and everybody is just kind of like Nixie and Willow head off to their caravan with their costumes and all their bits and pieces, and you are kind of left standing there. I
go over to Nana and Rash and I'm like, hey, I heard Seamus stayed back. Is he around?
Oh, yeah, he's in his wagon. He's not feeling the best, so I think he's a bit exhausted. That's Claudeen said he could set it out.
Yeah, I was just worried about him.
Oh, no, he's grand. He's just a bit tired.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the perils of working on the road.
He seemed fine this morning. Poor guy.
You know, fellas. 1 minute they're grand, next minute they're a toothache's killing him, and then she kind of punches Sykes.
I just give the two of them a nod and a little smile, and I go over to Seamus's wagon and give the door a little knock.
There's no answer.
I was going to say, Seamus, I hope you're feeling okay. Rest up. And I go to put my things away in my wagon.
The afternoon kind of rolls into the evening, and you see that some of the other troop maintenance crew are kind of getting ready for the wagons to. They've always formed that circle. They're now getting ready for them to roll out of the little camp. And then you hear kind of the ringing of a bell as like cook calls out, food? And you can hear kind of people are beginning to kind of gather around the campfire.
While I was kind of like, I suppose, relaxing in my wagon and stuff, I'd open the first page of the journal. Fia's first natural instinct is to write her name, because that's what she's always done. And she's paused for ages, and then when she hears Cook calling for dinner, she quickly writes down Birdie instead. Now, before she would take loads of time to make it look really nice and pretty, but it's really just scrawled across the front page, and she gets up and takes off to get food.
As you step out of the caravan, you see all these people kind of gathered around the campfire, and everybody is there, like the performers, crew, Ronnie and Claudeen. But your eye is drawn to something kind of skidding through the grass, and you can kind of make it out. It's kind of twilight. Like it's not quite dark, but it's not the bright of the day of that kind of grey sky is gone. But you can clearly see kind of skidding through the flattened grass. There's a tiny mouse, and he's got a rolled up scroll of paper in his mouth, and he just goes running into the fields beyond.
Kind of stare off in that direction for a little while, like chasing that shadow until I can't see it no more. And then it stays in my brain, even like I'm pondering on it as I'm even queuing up to get food. Just how odd that was.
Bowls are kind of being passed around, like a couple of people are helping Cook divvy it all out. And Claudeen hands you a bowl of, it's kind of like an oxtail stew. I heard you another knockout performance, Birdie.
I just tried to do my best.
Oh, I don't think anybody is disappointed in your showmanship.
Yeah, I am sorry about earlier. I just wanted.
Oh, don't worry about it. All's taken care of. All's fine.
Even still, I am sorry. I just wanted to go and buy something myself. I won't do it again.
We may not have the opportunity to stop off in many more places, so I can understand. A lady needs her things, a journal and armor. Interesting choices, but those are your own. I would appreciate it though, Birdie, if you would just check in with Ronald if you need anything. That's kind of one of his responsibilities. We kind of like to keep the performers behind the curtain until the big show.
Yeah, I will. I'm sorry again.
Apology accepted. We all make mistakes, Birdie. We just have to learn from them.
I slowly take the bowl from her and give her it's a very weak smile. And I go and I take a seat with Nana and Rash.
They are kind of chatting away to themselves when you come and sit down.
Mm.
You all right, lass?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. It's good stew.
Is it? I haven't tasted it yet.
Whatever Cook makes is good.
Yeah. Are you... Do you think you're really going to stay working with them?
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know.
The food, the open road, we're paid well. We have our own House on wheels?
I thought you were just a little bit more independent contractors than that. You know?
Give me an insight check.
17.
You see her eyes flit back and forth. Like there is just that moment where you kind of just see that disconnect between what she was saying and what she was thinking. No. Yeah. It's good, isn't it? The stew.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, you should. And like Nana just starts to spoon it in. Sykes hopping along.
How is Sykes acting as well? Because I know he'd usually be a little bit like more
grunty
and like, I don't know. He always seemed a bit more perceptive than Nana, but is he just kind of
going with the flow?
Right. Okay. If she's still chatting away, even if she's talking to me, I've kind of zoned out a little bit, and I'm looking between the two of them and then staring off, and even staring back at where I saw that little mouse with the paper run.
Your eyes kind of dart, and you see people are kind of like that. They're kind of bunching up in their little groups, and you can see Nixie and Willow are talking to some of the troops, maintenance people. Talon is kind of set with Cook. Neither of them are saying a word to each other. Both just kind of staring into the fire, both just eating away. You kind of look back towards your little caravan where you saw the mouse. Again, there's a quietness in this moment, even though these people are all talking. It feels very different to a couple of hours ago when you were on your own walking through the fields. There's an uncomfortableness in this, Fia. And you see from where you are Claudeen and Ronnie, and they're all over each other. He's kissing kind of like along her arm and like nuzzling into her neck, and she's kind of shooing him away, and then she's
very Gomez and Morticia.
Yes, and then like she's grabbing at him and like making kind of kissy noises kind of like on his nose, and then she covers his eyes with her hand, and you see her hold out her left hand, and she is holding a brass brooch, and Ronnie's eyes light up, and she pins it to his coat with all the other brooches and medals, trinkets and doodads. Finish up. We are rolling out. You heard Claudeen? Everybody immediately kind of shifts and moves. You are, again, kind of on your own. Is there anything you want to do in this moment?
I want to go back up to Seamus's wagon. I actually, about them, is there any little windows or that on them?
Yeah, there is. They're small little kind of round little kind of portal windows
that I could look into.
Yeah.
Okay. I stand up and just have a quick look in.
He's lying in a cot. His back is turned to you.
I just kind of stare at him for a little bit, just like to see. I don't know what I'm looking for, but just to see if he's okay. I don't know particularly what I'm looking for, but my gaze does linger on him just out of concern. I look around again and I go back to my wagon and I sit on the stoop of the door for a while.
As you make your way back and you see that everyone is kind of getting into kind of the formation to move, two dwarven men and that half-orc woman you'd seen at the stage earlier on, the kind of the security guard, help move your wagon, and they kind of look at you. They hitch it to kind of the train. They kind of like, you might want to, and they kind of gesture to the other caravans that they're getting ready to hitch them to yours as well.
I go into my wagon and then I don't know, like if there's like a window looking out front. I'm assuming Seamus's is ahead of mine in the queue.
Yeah,
is it?
It is. Yeah, again, they all kind of look
Similar.
very much the same. But his is about 3 or 4 for 2 years.
I just kind of throw an eye at it again, and then I guess I sit down on my bed.
There's a whelp when you sit on the bed.
What? And I jump up.
And the blankets move. And Rash pokes his head out from under the blankets, looking incredibly sad. And that's where we'll leave the episode. You've been listening to Romancing the Dungeon with Louise and me, Declan, your Dungeon Master. Our theme song, Fight for Each Other, is by Stephen Tynan and Abby Soiree. Podcast title card artwork is by Dahi C Designs. It's really weird listening back on a lot of this stuff now, considering that as of me recording this outro, we recorded the penultimate sessions for Romancing the Dungeon. I'm doing my best not to dwell on it, everybody, but it's a lot of fun, I guess, because we've recorded these in advance, and where we're at and where we came from is, it's connecting really, really well in my own head. I hope it's connecting for you. If you want to see maybe some of those connections and how it all kind of maybe will possibly come together, some behind the scenes stuff, make sure you're checking us out on social media. We're D8 Dungeon everywhere. You can check out our Twitch channel as well, also D8 Dungeon, for any of our other shows. And there's a link to our Discord group where some of the funnest people on the internet come and hang out. So do check out that space as well. Wherever you're listening to this, we would love if you leave us a very, very quick review, a thumbs up, a like. Maybe you want to share it. Maybe you want to reach out. Tag us on social media. Let us know what your thoughts were on the campaign so far. That's it. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to leave it there. We're back in 2 weeks' time. And we're going back to AJ, Hephaestus, Ivan, Nate, and Clodagh to find out just where the hell they are and what they're doing.
Oh, buddy. Oh.
Everyone loves a sad dog.
No. I'll smush his face, but he'll probably bite me.
Yes, I will.